Hey guys, this is Lauren from Writer Reader Debater, and I am here with another rapid fire review. Now, I'm reviewing a book that I read a really long time ago, and I was going to do a review on it when I first read it, but life got in the way and stuff happened and I wasn't able to do it. And that book is The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove. Now, I pre-ordered this book, I got it the day it came out, and I started reading it the day it came out, and I probably finished it like a week after it came out. I was really super excited for this book. It was super intriguing. I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been on Reagan from Peruse Project's channel forever ago when this book came out, but I can't remember again because it was so long ago. And this book is about a girl named Sophia, and she lives in Boston. But there's something very special about her world. And in her world, every kind of area slash continent slash geographical area, I'm not exactly sure how it's divided up, is split into different time periods. Not just time zones, but completely different time periods. So Sophia lives in Boston in 1891, but there are other places in the world that are set in a time period way ahead or way behind where she lives, which is super cool. It's a very intriguing idea, and I think that's what first drew me to it, was that idea. And it's super interesting. And essentially in this book, Sophia lives with her uncle Shadrach while her parents went off to kind of chart the new world. And maps play a huge role in this series, in this book. And this is the first book in the Map Maker trilogy, which is why it's called the Map Maker trilogy, because it's such a huge part of it. But her parents get lost, and so at the very beginning of the book, her uncle Shadrach decides to start training Sophia in map making and in map reading so that they together can go and find her parents. But then Shadrach is kidnapped, and this is kind of a huge bump in the story, obviously. So Sophia has to go and kind of rescue her uncle Shadrach, and she goes exploring with this boy named Theo and tries to rescue her father, or her uncle, excuse me. I won't really tell you guys too much more for two reasons. One, I don't want to spoil it, and two, what I do remember is really broken, and if I told you it wouldn't make too much sense unless you've read it. But I'm going to put the book down now because it's getting really heavy and I'm done holding it. So this book, I gave it 4 stars, and this is S.E. Grove's debut novel. I really enjoyed this writing, and there's room for improvement, definitely, but I think that that's true in any novel. I can point out any form of need for improvement in any novel, whether you're experienced or not. There's always room for improvement, but I absolutely loved this book. It's super intriguing, super interesting, and it's a really fresh and new way to write a book, a middle grade book. One of the most interesting things that I found as I was reading it that I really enjoyed was the element of map making. And in this world, there are different kinds of maps that do different kinds of things. So glass maps show people. So you can put, like, you have a glass map and you put like a pin on it and you can see what was going on in that specific area, but you can just see the people. And then there's clay maps, and there's cloth maps and paper maps, and then there's also water maps. But the main maps are the other ones, and each one shows a different part of the map. And so you put them all together and you essentially can view this 3D model kind of the place that map is depicting. They're like memory maps. It's super cool, super intriguing, and really kind of hard to explain. So I would highly recommend you read the book if that at all sounds intriguing to you. Now, this is an adventure novel, and there is a lot of traveling and just a lot of adventure and a lot of high stakes moments and kind of a lot of down moments too. I thought there was a really good balance. There were a couple times where the book was a little bit slow, and in some instances that actually played to the tone of the novel, where it was slow and kind of monotonous. not necessarily hard to read, but it was what the characters were feeling, and so it really benefited the story, and vice versa. But there were just a couple times where the parts were kind of a little bit slower, and that caused me to kind of take a little bit more time to get through the novel than it maybe would. It's almost 500 pages long. It's like 460 pages long. 482, 9, 89. 489. Yes. So, yes, anyway, it was a super, super interesting book. And her next book, the second book, comes out sometime middle of next year or end of next year, maybe like in August or something. And I'm super excited. The cover is out and it's super cool. And it's very, you can tell that they're part of the same series, but it's very much a different cover. And something really interesting about this cover. So there's this, the dust jacket, and the dust jacket is kind of see-through. You can kind of see silhouettes. Well, those are not silhouettes printed on the dust jacket. Those are silhouettes printed on the underside of the cover. So when you take off the dust jacket, it looks like this. Ah, I love it. So there is literally something for everyone in here. There's pirates and like seafaring adventure, and there's kind of a fantasy element, and there's map making and traveling and adventure and this like otherworldly like time travel kind of thing. And then there's kind of like magic. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's, I guess it can be classified as like magic, and it's super, super cool. And the ending was a huge twist. At the end, it's very much a cliffhanger, and yeah, it was very, I was very surprised essentially at the ending, and it definitely led into her next book, and I'm super, super duper excited. Something else that I wanted to talk about real quick before I end this review is the villain. Now, I don't think I've seen a villain done this well in a middle grade novel in a really, really long time. And the kind of villain, I guess, the bad guy, is Blanca. Her character development was brilliant in terms of a villain. I think that her character development was one of the best in the entire book. I also really like Theo's character development as well. But it was a very, very well-rounded villain. I think that it kind of showed that the whole idea that villains think that they're the good guys of their own stories, and also that the bad guys are human too. In this case, she's not exactly human, but I think you guys know what I mean. But she has the potential for being good, and I think that that's a really good thing. It was very, very well done. I was very pleased with the villain, and in the end, I kind of actually liked her in the way that villains are supposed to be liked. I really enjoyed this novel, and I can't wait to read the next one. S.E. Grove is a really, really good author, and I think that something we'll be able to tell from the rest of this series is just how much she improves throughout the novels. I think that that will be something writing style-wise that we'll be able to see, but her ideas are so unique, so fresh, so creative, that even if you don't necessarily like her writing style, you should definitely pick up this book. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it, especially since the next book is coming out next year. So you have less than a year to read this book so that you can read the next one, because they're awesome and they're super cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you have read The Glass Sentence, leave your thoughts below. I would love to hear what you guys thought about The Glass Sentence. If you have any thoughts, comments, leave it below. Don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. Hopefully there will be more videos like this to come, more videos in general. Alright, I hope you guys are having a good, fantastic week, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!